myself Malarvizhi. Now we are going to talk about the business ethics and which company faces the issues in the business and solution they made it. We can first see about what is business ethics. Business ethics refers to implementing the appropriate business policies and practices with regarding to an agreeably controversial subjects. So some issues that can come up with the discussions of ethics includes corporate governance, insider trainings, and then bribery, discriminations, and then social responsibilities, and then fiduciary responsibilities. The law usually sets the tone of business ethics and providing a basic guidelines to that business and can choose to follow to gain the public approvals. And there are 12 principles of business ethics, that is leadership, accountability, integrity, respect for others, honesty, respect for laws and responsibilities, transparency, compassion, fairness, and loyalty. These principles of business ethics are very important. Those who breaks these business ethics rules will lead to issues for this company. So the company has to pay for it. So now we are going to talk about the Tesco company who broke the business ethics and faces the issues and how they solve it. In our Tesco companies, the first is environment concern. In this world where the resources are limited and ecosystems have been damaged by the positive particles and the climate is changing, it is often almost important to be aware of and concerned about the environmental impacts often business has. So the Tesco company has faced an ethical issues and solutions. In September 2019, Tesco scored an ethical customers best rating for its supply chain management when we viewed the following documents on their websites. Our approach by a human rights dated on 11/4/2019, modern survey of statement 2018. The supplier code of conduct. Unfortunately, around the same time, we discovered that one of the suppliers has been caught using the slave labor following a 3 years. We are going to talk about an ethical issues in a Tesco company. Environmental concern. In the world where resources are limited, ecosystems have been damaged by the positive particles and the climate is changing. It is almost important to be aware of and concerned about an environmental aspects of a business has. Tesco company faced ethical issues and solutions. In September 2019, Tesco scored an ethical customers best rating for its supply chain management. When we viewed the following documents on the websites, our approach to human rights and modern slavery statements and supply code conducted. Unfortunately, around the same time, we discovered that one of the suppliers has been caught using the slave labor following a 3 years of police investigations. This threw up the UK's largest even modern slavery ring, in which some of its the 400 victims worked for as little as 50 per day, working in farms of rubbing the recycling centers and pollutory factories. Tesco and other supermarkets includes weight stores, Marks and Spencer's and subsidiaries and Asada was supplied from the firms and gang-controlled men and women worked. However, the supermarket chains companies involved said they did not know the workers were being exploited and several said they became aware of an mistreatment after being conducted by a journalist. 2019, the company received the worst rating from the ethical customer for its supplies from the use of toxic chemicals in its electronic products, as they did not have the policies facing the policies. Tesco had pledged for the zero discharge of hazardous chemicals by 2020. By this did not include the electronics, only agricultural, textiles and leathers. In January 2020, the ethical consumer has across a June 2018 statement stating that the Tesco clothing was committed to enforcing the existing bans on and pathologies used in many plastics as plasticizers and film and retardants. And plasticizers in some forms of use has actually been banned and restricted in USA and UK respectively. It's worth nothing that the Tesco can give the no mentions of two other similarity risk chemicals and triglycerides and then probeins. A year in 2018, the abundance was found in a chemical test, but there was a no clear dated target for ending its issues completely. We have them host a rating for the toxics, and the company lost the whole mark under the pollutions and toxics in and rating systems. In January 2020, the Ethical Consumers came across a June 2018 statement stating that the Tesco clothing was committed to enforcing the existing bans on the phthalates using in the many plastics as plasticides and then flame retardants. The panthenons in the some forms or uses have actually been banned and restricted in USA and then EU respectively. It's worth nothing that the Tesco has given the no intention of an to barrier and then similarity. Phthalates in some forms or uses has actually banned and restricted in the USA and then EU respectively. It's worth nothing that Tesco has gave the no mentions of an two other similarity risk chemicals and then triclosans and then parabens. In a year on 2019, the patents was found in a chemical test, but there was no clear dated target for ending its uses completely. We have gave them a worst rating for an toxics, and the company lost a whole mark under the pollutions and the toxics in a rating systems. The concerns was raised by a number of shareholders grouping in 2015. After a Tesco's remunerations report revealed that the company has paid an 4.13 M pound in the bonuses and salary to its chief executive Dave Lennox for his first 6 months work, and an 1.2 M pound payout to his predecessors who oversaw driving the sales and then profits. In September 2019, we saw that in the period of 2018 and 19, Dove Lewis was paid and 46 lakhs pound. Tesco had then lost an half mark under an antisocial and then financial categories as considered that any amount over and 10 lakhs pound a year to be an excuse. Around the same time, we took a look out how likely Tesco was using the avoiding the trap. Tesco then lost the half of the mark under the antisocial financial categories as we considered any amount over and 1 lakh 10 lakh pound a year to be an expenses. Around the same time, we took a look at how likely Tesco was using the avoidance and strategies. The company has a number of subsidiaries in a tax havens, including the one of the Hong Kong, one in the Cribs, and one in Jersey, and one in New Jersey. Tesco contacted us to say that the Hong Kong and Cribs, the holding were in the process of an liquidations, and an emailed a statement to clarify that they were responsible for an taxpayer. Despite this, the company still held the two subsidiaries based in the places listed in our list of tax havens. No adequate explanations was provided so to what these were. Myself, Malarvizhi. Now we are going to talk about an CSR, with means and corporate social responsibilities. CSR. The corporate social responsibilities is a business model by which the companies makes a concerted effort to operate in the ways that enhances rather than the degrade society and an environment. The CSR helps both improve the various aspects of a society as well as to promote the positive brand image of companies. The corporate responsibilities programs also a great way to raise an morale in a workspace. The CSR are often broken into four categories: environmental impacts, and an ethical responsibilities, and an philanthropic endeavors, and an financial responsibilities. Some examples of companies that strive to be leaders in CSR include Starbucks and Burns Jerry's. Environmental responsibilities. Environmental responsibility is the pillar of an corporate social responsibility rooted in preserving the mother nature. Though the optimal operations and supported often related costs, the company can ensure it leaves the natural resources better than the before its operations. The companies often pursue the environmental stewardship through a reductions of pollutions, waste and natural resources consumptions and emissions through its the manufacturing process, the recycling goods and materials throughout its process, including the promoting reuses and practices with its customers. Then on offsetting negative impacts by repelting and the natural resources or the supporting causes that can help the neutralize the company's impact. For examples, a manufacturer that deforests the trees and may commit to planting the same account or more. Disturbing goods and then consciously by choosing the methods that have an least impact on emissions and pollutions. Creating the products lines that enhances lines of values. For examples, the company that offers a lawn owner may be the designs of an electrical and lawn owner. Ethical responsibilities. The ethical responsibilities is a pillar of an corporate social responsibilities and rooted in acting in the fair and an ethical manner. The companies often set their own standards through an external forces or the by the clients may be a shop and an ethical goods. The fair treatment across all the types of customers regardless of an age, race, cultures or an orientations. The positive treatment of all employees includes the favorable pay and then benefits in the cross of mandated minimums. This includes the fair employment of considerations of all individuals regardless of personal differences. The expenses of one vendor used to utilize the different suppliers of different races, genders and then statuses or an economic statuses or an the veteran statuses. Honest disclosures of an operating the concerns to investors in a timely and respectively manners. Though not always mandated, a company may choose to manage its relationships with an external stakeholders beyond what is legally required. The philanthropic responsibilities. It is the pillar of corporate socials that challenge how a company acts and how it contributes to the society. It is the simplest form. The pluralistic responsibilities refers to how company spends its resources to make the world better a place. This includes whether a company denotes profits to charities or causes its beliefs in. Whether a company denotes the profit to the charities or the cause its beliefs in. Whether a company only enters into transactions with suppliers or the vendors that align with the company often philanthropically. Whether a company supports an employee, the philanthropic efforts through the time of or matching the contributions. Whether a company sponsors an fundraising events or has a presence in the community for and related events. Whether a company supports an employee philanthropic efforts through the time of or matching the contributions. Whether a company often sponsors the fundraising and events or has the presence in the community for and related events. Financial responsibilities. Financial responsibilities is the pillar of an corporate social responsibilities that ties together the three areas above. The company makes plans to be more environmentally, ethically and then philanthropically focused. However, the company must back these plans though the financial investments of programs and the donations or product research. This includes spending on researchers development for the new products that encourage and sustainability. The recovering the different types of talent to ensure the diverse of workspace and initiatives that train employees on DEI and social awareness or social concerns. The processes that might be the more expensive but yield greater CSR results, ensuring the transportations and timely the financial reportings including the external audits. Benefits of corporate social responsibilities as an importance as CSR is for the community. It is an equal valuable for a company and CSR activities can help and forge a stronger bond between the employees.